If you've been using Claude for coding lately, you might have noticed something frustrating. Your once reliable AI coding assistant has been writing buggy code, missing obvious errors, and generally performing like it's having a bad day. Well, you're not imagining things. Anthropic's Claude has indeed been experiencing some significant code quality issues recently, and today we're going to break down exactly what went wrong, why it happened, and most importantly, how you can adapt your workflow to get better results. I'm here for the professionals, developers, and productivity enthusiasts who rely on AI tools to get work done faster and better. If you've been frustrated with Claude's recent coding performance, or if you want to understand how to navigate AI tool reliability issues in general, this video is for you. By the end of this postmortem, you'll understand what caused Claude's recent code quality decline, how to identify when your AI tools are underperforming, and most importantly, you'll have a concrete strategy for maintaining high-quality AI-assisted coding even when your primary tool is having issues. I've been tracking AI tool performance professionally for over 2 years, working with development teams to optimize their AI workflows, and I've seen this pattern before. Let me share what I've learned from this latest incident and how you can protect your productivity. So what exactly has been happening with Claude? Starting around mid-December 2023, users began reporting a noticeable decline in Claude's coding capabilities. We're talking about basic syntax errors that Claude used to catch effortlessly, logical inconsistencies in code structure, and perhaps most frustratingly, Claude would confidently present solutions that simply didn't work. The issues weren't subtle. Developers reported that Claude was generating Python code with incorrect indentation, JavaScript functions with missing brackets, and SQL queries that would fail basic syntax validation. Even worse, when users pointed out these errors, Claude would sometimes double down on incorrect solutions or provide fixes that introduced new bugs. This wasn't just anecdotal evidence from a few users. The pattern was consistent across different programming languages, complexity levels, and use cases. Simple tasks that Claude handled flawlessly just weeks earlier were now producing unreliable results. The impact on productivity was immediate and significant. Developers who had built Claude into their daily workflows found themselves spending more time debugging AI-generated code than they would have spent writing it from scratch. The trust that had been built over months of reliable performance was eroding quickly. What made this particularly challenging was the inconsistency. Claude wasn't broken entirely, it would still produce excellent code for some tasks while completely failing on others. This unpredictability made it difficult for users to know when they could rely on Claude's output and when they needed to be extra cautious. While Anthropic hasn't released a detailed public explanation for these issues, the evidence suggests this was likely related to model updates or infrastructure changes. The good news is that many of these issues have been resolved, but this incident taught us valuable lessons about AI tool reliability. The solution isn't just waiting for fixes, it's building a more resilient workflow that can handle AI tool fluctuations. Here's the framework I've developed, the multi-layer validation system. This system has 3 core components: diversification, validation, and monitoring. Diversification means not relying on a single AI tool for critical tasks. Validation involves implementing systematic checks for AI-generated code. Monitoring means tracking the performance of your AI tools over time to catch issues early. The key insight is that AI tools, no matter how advanced, are still evolving systems. They can have off days, get updated in ways that affect performance, or experience infrastructure issues. Building resilience into your workflow protects you from these inevitable fluctuations. This isn't about abandoning Claude or any other AI tool, it's about using them more strategically and safely. Let me walk you through implementing this multi-layer validation system in practice. First, diversification. Instead of relying solely on Claude, set up accounts with at least 2 other coding AI tools. I recommend having GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT as backups. When you encounter a coding challenge, start with your primary tool, let's say Claude, but if the output seems off or you're working on something critical, cross-check with a secondary tool. Here's the specific workflow: generate your code with Claude, then ask ChatGPT to review it with a prompt like, "Please review this code for bugs, syntax errors, and logical issues. Explain any problems you find." This takes an extra 30 seconds but can save hours of debugging. Second, implements systematic validation. Create a simple checklist for code review. Does it run without syntax errors? Does it handle edge cases appropriately? Are there any obvious security vulnerabilities? For critical code, run it through an automated linter or testing framework before integration. Set up a simple template for testing AI-generated code. Create a basic test environment where you can quickly validate functionality. This might be a simple Python script that imports and tests functions, or a basic HTML file for testing web code snippets. Third, monitoring. Keep a simple log of AI tool performance. I use a basic spreadsheet with columns for date, tool used, task type, and success rating. This takes less than a minute per task but helps you identify patterns. If Claude's success rate drops below 80% for your typical tasks, it's time to switch to your backup tool temporarily. For prompting, be more specific when you notice quality issues. Instead of saying write a function to sort data, try write a Python function that takes a list of dictionaries and sorts them by a specified key, with error handling for missing keys and input validation. Here are 3 advanced strategies that most people miss when dealing with AI tool reliability issues. First, use the explanation test. When an AI tool gives you code, ask it to explain exactly how the code works. If the explanation doesn't match the actual code or reveals logical inconsistencies, that's a red flag. This technique often catches issues that aren't immediately obvious from looking at the code alone. Second, implement temporal validation. Save examples of good code that your AI tools generated previously. When you notice quality declining, test the tool on these known good examples. If it struggles with tasks it previously handled well, you know the issue is with the tool, not your prompting. This gives you confidence to switch to backup tools. Third, leverage the AI community for early warning systems. Join Discord servers, Reddit communities, or Twitter groups focused on AI tools. These communities often identify and discuss performance issues days or weeks before they become widely known. Following accounts that regularly test AI tools can give you advance notice of problems. The key insight that most people miss is that AI tool reliability isn't binary, it's not working or broken. Instead, it's a spectrum, and tools can perform differently across various task types even during the same time period. Understanding this helps you make better decisions about when to trust AI output and when to be more cautious. The Claude Code quality issues were a reminder that AI tools, despite their impressive capabilities, are still evolving systems that require thoughtful integration into our workflows. By implementing the multi-layer validation system, diversification, validation, and monitoring, you can maintain high productivity even when individual tools experience problems. The key takeaway isn't to lose faith in AI coding tools, but to use them more strategically. These tools remain incredibly powerful productivity multipliers when used correctly. If this analysis helped you understand AI tool reliability better or gave you practical strategies for more resilient workflows, hit that subscribe button. I regularly analyze AI tool performance and share practical strategies for staying productive as these tools